Today on Ask Darren, we are going to service my mower for the season. Spring is upon us here in Ohio, and I just wanted to kind of show you guys how to do an oil change, get your mower ready for the season. I do have an Exmark. It's a commercial grade mower, but everything I'm showing you applies to other riding mowers or even push mowers on how to do oil and stuff. So what I do is I go ahead and every 2 years I buy a tune-up kit. And I think this was like $75 or $80. I'll put a link to it down below so you can kind of see what other kits are out there and available. So this kit contains everything to do a full tune-up. Air filter, fuel filter, the oil, spark plugs, and everything. So what I want to do is I want to start my mower up and let it run for about 5-10 minutes. What that does is it heats up all the oil and lets it all drain down so that we'll get like a full oil change out of it. When you remove your oil filter, make sure that the surface is nice and clean. That way you get a good seal and you won't leak any oil. All right, now that the oil change is done, I kind of forgot to mention, if you're working where there's other people around, it's good practice to go ahead and take the key out so that nobody accidentally starts this engine while you have no oil in it. So I'm going to go ahead and change the air filter. So this is the outer filter. You can see the huge difference. Like I said, I had about 150 hours on this last year. The pre-filter or the secondary filter is dang near just spotless. So, but when I change a filter, I want to change both of them at the same time. So they just push in. And then you put your cover back on. Come on. It'd probably help if I had the piece on all the way. There we go. All right, now the air filters are out of the way, I can go ahead and grab a funnel and I'm going to add my oil in. A good thing to remember when you're doing your oil change is most people hang their funnels up and look at all that crap in there. Spider webs, flies, dirt and dust. You don't want all that going in to contaminate your new oil. So just clean this out, spray some brake clean down it, shove a rag down through it. Just make sure it's clean. So I'm putting in 1 full quart, and I'll give it a few minutes before I put the other one in because I don't want to overfill my engine. So you won't be able to read this, but on here it says, for correct oil level, do not turn cap on threads. So you might want to pay attention to whatever yours reads, that way you can get an accurate reading on how much you have. That way you're not overfilling it. So sticking it in, not turning it, it's not even touching the dipstick yet. So what I want to do is I want to add about 1/4 of the next quart and then just go from there. Alright, I'm going to check it one last time before I start it up. And we're just a hair above the full, so when I start it up, it should be perfect. Now, I've made the mistake and started this without having the oil cap on, and because it's a positive pressure oil system, it was actually spitting oil out of the oil cap, or the fill tube. So make sure you have it on before you try to start your mower back up. Now that's done, so I'm going to give that a second to drop down, and what I'll do is I'll pull the dipstick out and actually wipe it off, then check it again. So I'm going to go ahead and change my spark plugs. They're kind of difficult to get to. The one in the front right here is not too bad. So let's work on that next. Alright, so my spark plug is right here. I'm going to try to film this and do this at the same time, handheld. So I got that on. And spark plugs aren't usually very tight at all. You just want to snug them up, give them a little 1/4 turn when you're done. So if you've never used a spark plug socket before, what they have is they have rubber inside of them that makes it easier and holds the porcelain. So I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but there's a rubber insulator that keeps it from getting destroyed. And there we go. So there's the old spark plug. Pretty dark. Probably needed to be changed, so that's why I bought the full kit. Here is the new one. So what you want to do is you want to check and make sure that the gap between the bottom of here and the top of there is the same. I don't know if I can get it to focus or not. Okay, so the last thing I gotta do on this service is get down here and change this fuel filter. Okay, I do have an on-off that's almost next to near impossible to get underneath the seat. So I'll try to get it turned off. If I can't, then I'll just get a little gas on me. So on these fuel filters, it has an arrow of which way the flow is. So you got to be mindful of that when you install these. If not, it will restrict the flow and then your motor will not run. Alright, now I just changed the fuel filter, so everything's ready. Well, when you start turning this over, it's going to take it a while to fire back up because it's got to pull gas from the gas tank into the filter and then up into your carburetor. So I'm going to try to fire up right now and get it back running since everything's done. Well, she fired right up, so I think that's a success. There's a few more things we're going to check. This might not apply to anything that you have. I have 2 hydrostatic drives on this, so I got to check the levels in those. If it needs oil, I'll put oil in it. Plus, we want to check all our tire pressures. My blades are new. I put them on at the end of season last year, and it's full of gas, so that's pretty much will be it once I check my air pressure and my pumps. So another service point on this mower is this grease fitting right here. It's really hard to see. There's only 2 grease fittings on this whole mower. If you have a regular riding mower, I'm pretty sure all the tires have a grease fitting, at least the front steer tires do. So this is one thing you want to check every year or twice a year or every so many hours, depending on what your manufacturer suggests. All right, so I got the whole service done, everything looked at, checked, tweaked, and now it's time for mowing season. So hopefully you can put some of this to use in your application. Hopefully it makes you not scared on doing your own service. There's a lot of places out there that will come get your mower, service it, and bring it back. Like I said, I had $70 to $80 in the tune-up kit. And I did everything else myself, so I probably saved $100 or so. So please check back. I'll be doing some more videos coming up. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.